Welcome to Caribbean Muscle TV. Today I want to speak about a Caribbean bodybuilder who made it in the IFBB way back in the 60s and who's a prominent name throughout the Caribbean island of Barbados where bodybuilding is concerned. And even to this day they have a very popular show with his name, the Darcy Beckles Classic. So I'll be speaking to you concerning Darcy Beckles of Barbados, who was an IFBB pro and he competed in the 60s. Okay, and he got into bodybuilding as a teenager and became the junior champion at the age of 19 in his first show. This first show was called Mr. Physique. Also, Darcy Beckles was the first bodybuilder in Barbados to win both the junior and senior Mr. Barbados. Okay, so he won both class. And all of this was in 1969, I want to believe. Okay, but I'm subject for correction. But all of this took place in the 60s. But in 69, he won the Mr. West Indies. So back in those days, they used to have a Mr. West Indies bodybuilding show. And Darcy Beckles would have won that title in 1969 and continued to defend that title for 3 more years. So 69, 70, 71, 72. Okay, he was Mr. West Indies. There has been a number of titles that, Darcy Beckles would have had under his belt, such as the Mr. Barbados Olympia, Mr. Caribbean Champion, Mr. Caribbean, and Mr. World Tall Class, and overall. So he would have won the Mr. World. I want to believe that was with NABA. Okay. And that was a federation, I think, even before the IFBB. I'm still subject for correction there also, okay? And if there's any other added information that anyone can present, I'll be very much grateful for it also. Also, Mr. Darcy Beckles would have won the Mr. Western Hemisphere in 1975. And the last show that he would have won was in 1976. Okay, but I just want to say that Mr. Darcy Beckles was a Barbadian bodybuilder who really made a difference and used his experience and his popularity at the time to become a part of the Barbados Sports Council, and has been working with the government of Barbados where sport is concerned, especially sports of bodybuilding, and make sure that, you see, bodybuilding would have given a place in his country of Barbados, and even being in the schools. Okay, and this is something we want to see in all of the Caribbean islands, but we have to tell them the truth about bodybuilding and what it really entails and how important it is for them to do it the natural and healthy way. Because in the time of Darcy Beckles and so on, even though steroids was available, it was not illegal, it was rather legal, and people could go to the pharmacy and just buy like that. And most of the older bodybuilders, they would have been using things like Diana Ball and so on. They haven't been taking all of the things that the bodybuilders these days are taking. Okay, so I would say that they were rather say, I would say they were natural compared to those who are here now and what they're taking, okay? Because back in those times, sometimes it may have been just one or two steroids might have been available to them. But this is just to give you a history of, you know, bodybuilding and bodybuilders in the Caribbean and why we need to have our own bodybuilding federation, and just to show you how long we've been associated with the IFBB and yet we haven't gone anywhere where bodybuilding is concerned. And that is why I'm encouraging you to, you know, join me on this journey to revive bodybuilding in the Caribbean and to give the youngsters an opportunity to make some money and to do it naturally, competing on a level playing field. So I want to say to you that I'll be always bringing a different bodybuilder from the Caribbean and speak about a different bodybuilder from the Caribbean from time to time. And from time to time I'll be having my podcast, Mind and Muscle podcast. And if you feel interested to be a part of this podcast, feel free to reach out to me. Let us talk about bodybuilding in the Caribbean and where do we go from here and why we need to have it done the natural way and give everyone a chance to compete on a level playing field, and why I am willing to use my money to see the growth of bodybuilding in the Caribbean and to let it be done the healthy way while bodybuilders can have some money in their pockets. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. I'm out.